Nice to see your face again. Tell me, how long has it been since you've been here? Looks so different than before, but still the person.
I picked up the guitar, the second that I picked up the guitar, a friend of mine had one, but that moment that I picked up a guitar, I was off and running. I didn't aspire to play guitar prior to that. And so it happened within a couple hours. All of a sudden I held a guitar. I think he taught me how to play Smoke on the Water or something, and I just dropped everything else in my life at that point and been playing guitar ever since. There was a certain amount of excitement that went along with that, and I think I was always surrounded by music growing up, and I always liked music. I just didn't have I didn't know that I wanted to play an instrument. And so as soon as I played guitar, there was a certain sound about lead guitar that really had always excited me. Any song, any rock and roll song, if it had a lead break in it, that was part of the song that I really looked forward to the most. And so as soon as I realized that I could make that sound myself with this particular instrument, that was it. So there's a combination of a lot of feelings, I suppose. The kind of rock and roll guitar that I got turned on to growing up is become a little bit few and far between, especially on the airwaves. But I mean, when Jack White came out, I thought that was really cool. I think Johnny Greenwood from now I can't think of the band. Oh, damn. Anyway, I think John Greenwood's great. I've been touring with Ozzy, and Gus G, his new guitar player, is a phenomenal metal guitar player. But I haven't really been listening to anybody other than the same people I've always listened to, which is a lot of guitar players that I sort of grew up with and had a lot of influence on me, and I still tend to go back and listen to them. It could be Keith Richards or Mick Taylor or B.B. King or Rick Nielsen, we just jammed with, the guys from AC/DC. Gary Moore, who just passed away, had a huge influence on me. Joe Walsh is great. I mean, there's a lot of variety, types of different guitar players, but definitely it's an endless list. Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, all these guys. The different social sort of network kind of thing. Facebook and Twitter has been great because it gives me a chance to sort of talk to fans in real time directly, which I think is great. I never really liked relying on press releases and magazines and whatnot to sort of get information out accurately. So it's beneficial in that way, and I can say whatever it is about whatever subject that I feel like talking about. I can tell them what shows are coming, when, anything in particular that I feel should get out there. So that's really cool. It is hard to keep up with. At one point, I was talking to fans directly on Twitter, and it got to be just overwhelming. I was spending all my time with, typing away. If I didn't have a guitar in my hand, I had my BlackBerry in my hand. So I had to give that up. But all things considered, I think it was definitely a development in communication that has been really beneficial. My solo record that I just came out with last year was basically a way for me to get people to come in and sing on my record, as opposed to me always playing on everybody else's. And that was sort of the crux of the whole thing. And I wrote a lot of different material, and I just sort of would listen to whatever it was that I was working on and think who would sound right on this particular piece of music. And I think there was a lot of variables and styles as far as the music was concerned, so it called for a lot of different types of singers. So yeah, from Ozzy to Adam Levine, definitely a big jump there, but it worked. Well, fatherhood's just given me another sense of responsibility, and I mean, I'm a pretty self-absorbed musician, and I have been for a long time, and so having kids has sort of brought me out of my shell in that sense. It's given me a different dynamic in general, about life in general, you know. And they're great kids and very, very smart, and so it's definitely adds a whole new dimension to my existence. But as far as music is concerned, well, they love music. One of them has picked up piano by ear, and it's pretty interesting to watch that develop. And the other one has gone through a bunch of different instruments and has settled on guitar at this point, but I'm sure that's going to change. You know? So we'll see how it goes. It's one of those things where I encourage it, but I'm not going to push them. First time I used Shure, I mean, I remember working in a rehearsal studio in Hollywood back when I was probably about 17, maybe even 16, and recognizing the name Shure on microphones that we were using in rehearsal. And I was just familiar with Shure because it was something that Robert Plant was using and a myriad of other singers, and I was just very familiar with the name, so I knew that it was a quality piece of gear. The Shure ribbon mics that I use on my amps just give a certain amount of clarity, especially in the high end, that I didn't have before. So it's been, you know, I've used SM57s forever, but they just add another dimension to the sound that just you can't get with just an SM57.